Hello friends! As you may have already heard, there's another vote coming up for the next couple Community Day Pokemon, and today I'm here to tell you which Pokemon you should vote for. Of course, I'm talking about Weedle. Let's read through this announcement here. Community Day voting is back. Which Pokemon will you choose to be featured during June and July Community Days? So we're voting for the next two after CDOT Community Day, which I've talked a lot about on stream, but not so much here. Honestly, I'm not that stoked about CDOT Community Day. Bullet Seed for Shiftry is an exact clone in terms of stats as Snarl, a move that it already learns. So it doesn't make it any faster or stronger in PvP. It just changes the type of the fast move that you can use on it. Not super impactful, and the shiny it's okay. But honestly, Shiftry is a Pokemon that I like. I really like the design of Shiftry, so I'm happy about that. It's a Pokemon that I like, and we'll leave it at that. Now, for June and July, we are voting for the next two Community Day Pokemon. Trainers, remember voting for the featured Pokemon for February Community Day? Well, we're bringing it back with a twist. From May 23rd to May 24th, you'll be able to vote for the Pokemon you'd like featured via Twitter. The two Pokemon that receive the most votes will go on to be featured during the next Community Days, with the Pokemon with the most votes featured in June and the runner-up in July. So obviously you can see the candidates there in the image, but they are Weedle, Gastly, Squirtle, and Sandshrew. Now, here are the moves that they're going to learn, because this is the most important part, considering three of them are already shinies that we have released in the game. Squirtle, a Pokemon we've already had a Community Day for. Evolve a Wartortle to get a Blastoise that knows the fighting type attack Aura Sphere. Currently an exclusive attack that only Lucario can learn. Aura Sphere will be particularly handy when Blastoise faces off against popular Steel-type Pokemon in the Go Battle League, such as Registeel, a Pokemon that it already beats in the one shield versus one shield scenario, so not exactly gaining a new win there. Next candidate, Weedle. That's right, Weedle. Evolve Kakuna to get a Beedrill that knows the ground-type attack Drill Run. This unique type combination of Beedrill's bug and poison types with the ground-type Drill Run will be sure to inspire some innovative battle strategies. Weedle, the only Pokemon whose shiny we don't have already released. That's basically what it comes down to. Spoiler alert, that's why I'm voting Weedle. We have all these shinies already. Sandshrew, my favorite Pokemon from Gen 1, of course, my original favorite. Sandshrew, as originally discovered in the Kanto region, will be appearing in the wild and hatching from eggs. Alolan Sandshrew will be appearing in raid battles. Evolve Sandshrew or Alolan Sandshrew to get a Sandslash or Alolan Sandslash that knows the ghost-type attack Shadow Claw. Shadow Claw will be a welcome addition for both Sandslash, but it will give Alolan Sandslash a new fast attack that both charges attacks faster and is more powerful than Powder Snow. Alright, we'll talk about it in a second. Gastly. Evolve Haunter, the evolved form of Gastly, is that what that is? To get a Gengar that knows the ghost-type attack Shadow Punch. Shadow Punch's ability to charge up quickly will give Gengar a useful attack to trick your opponents into using their Protect Shields. Alright, there are the Pokemon, there are the moves they're going to learn. Let's talk about how to vote before we go into why to vote. We'll post a poll on our official Pokemon Go Twitter on Saturday, May 23rd at 6 p.m. Pacific Time. You'll be able to cast your vote until Sunday, May 24th at 6 p.m. Pacific Time. So this is next weekend, or this coming weekend. You will have 24 hours to cast one vote for the Pokemon you'd like to see most, either June or July Community Day. The winners will be announced shortly after voting ends. The Pokemon that receives the most votes will be featured for June Community Day. The Pokemon with the second most votes will be featured for July Community Day. Make your voices heard, trainers. It's time for you to choose which Pokemon you want featured, etc., etc., etc. So, if you're not following Pokemon Go on Twitter, I guess this is kind of a nice campaign, a nice way to get more players following them on Twitter, because you have to follow them in order to vote. So, first things first, it looks like 3 more community days, including CDOT, 3 more community days of relatively uninteresting Pokemon compared to, some of the past community days that we've had with things like Beldum and Bagon and, these pseudo-legendary Pokemon. And up next, it's going to be Weedle or Gastly or Squirtle, which we've already had Community Day for. But I understand, more than likely for the next couple of months, things aren't going to be back to normal. And I would rather have Niantic save the more exciting Community Days for when we're all able to go out and play together as a community again. So I don't mind too much these Community Days being relatively uninteresting Pokemon. Now, I want to talk about the moves. I've been on PvPoke this morning, just kind of running simulations and seeing how these moves are going to affect Pokemon's performance in PvP, because, let's face it, every single move here is PvP focused. There's no Pokemon that's going to be better in raids. And honestly, during this time, I think more people are probably doing PvP than raids. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. If you're someone who didn't normally do PvP before, do you find yourself doing it more now that we're sort of, a lot of the world is under stay-at-home orders? Are you doing more PvP now, is the question. Comment down below. Alright, so here's the deal. I was recording this, I already recorded all of this, and my computer has now crashed 4 times while trying to edit. So instead, I'm recording it through OBS here on the PC, and hopefully that'll be easier on my MacBook. So what I'm going to do is look at the matchups, look at the implications of these potential new moves. So starting with Blastoise, which currently, the recommended moveset, I guess, is Water Gun, Hydro Cannon, Ice Beam. If we jump into a multi-battle and just throw in the Great League meta, these are like the most common Great League Pokemon, right? We hit battle, 16 wins, 22 losses. So it's not a Pokemon that we use very often. If we switch Ice Beam to Aura Sphere, which I now realize would require the use of an Elite TM because they're both Community Day moves, it goes up to 18 wins and 20 losses. Now, Blastoise already beats most of the Steel types in Great League. Let's go back to Ice Beam. With Hydro Cannon, Blastoise already beats Registeel. It wins that matchup. Beats Melmetal and Jirachi. So adding Aura Sphere doesn't really actually help it with any Steel-type matchups. And considering you can't have Aura Sphere and Hydro Cannon without using an Elite TM, with Aura Sphere and Ice Beam, 7 wins, 31 losses. I just don't see this as a very useful move. Next up, we have my boy Sandslash. Alolan Kanto Sandslash right now already knows Mudshot, which is one of the fastest energy-generating quick moves. So right now, 12 wins, 26 losses. What Sandslash really needs are better charge moves to take advantage of how quickly Mudshot generates energy. Unfortunately, it would be getting Shadow Claw, which deals a little bit more damage, deals more damage than Mudshot, but doesn't generate energy as quickly, and really doesn't help it that much. The places where it helps are against Pokemon that are weak to Shadow Claw, so it helps in the Mew matchup, it helps a little bit in the Haunter matchup. Now, if we switch things up and head over to the Alolan Sandslash, which currently I do use occasionally, Gyro Ball Ice Punch or Bulldoze Ice Punch, I don't know, it has some interesting movesets. 10 wins, 28 losses currently. Not great. With Shadow Claw, we move up to 16 wins using Gyro Ball and Ice Punch. And if we switch over to Bulldoze and Ice Punch, also 16 wins, but it becomes a very good counter for Jirachi, actually. I'd say that Jirachi matchup is probably the biggest takeaway from Shadow Claw on Alolan Sandslash. Aside from that, not very interesting, and that's coming from someone whose favorite Pokemon is Sandshrew, so take that for what you will. Next up, we have Gengar. Currently, 12 wins, 26 losses. not great in Great League. Haunter, however, is a Pokemon that we do see very commonly in Great League, and that's because it has the moveset that Gengar could potentially have after Community Day. Shadow Claw, Shadow Ball, Shadow Punch. You can see that it goes from 12 wins up to 21 wins. A huge improvement for Gengar, and you might think, that's great, we should vote for Gengar, because that's like a big difference. The thing is, we already have Haunter, who does exactly that. Here's Haunter, same exact moveset. 21 wins, 16 losses, 1 draw. So actually, if you count that draw as being better than a loss, Haunter already does what Gengar would do, just very slightly better. And if you go into the Gengar versus Haunter matchup, Gengar wins with 3 HP. So yes, it beats Haunter, which is essentially the mirror matchup, but aside from that, it's exactly the same thing. And do we need more of the same thing? I don't think so. Now, if we jump up to Ultra League and go against the Ultra League meta, let's start with Gengar with current moves. Against Ultra League meta, 13 wins, 25 losses. If we give it Shadow Punch, 24 wins, 14 losses. Huge improvement for Gengar in the Ultra League, picking up wins against Mew, against Giratina Origin. So possibly impactful in Ultra League, a league where Haunter's CP just doesn't reach high enough to compete. How do you spell Haunter? There it is. Haunter only reaches 1963. That's 100% maxed out. So Gengar could be interesting in Ultra League if you want it there. But finally, let's head back down to Great League for the last Pokemon. It's Beedrill, the Murder Hornet, currently with Poison Jab, Sludge Bomb, and Fell Stinger, 14 wins, 24 losses. It's interesting, though, because it has a lot of potential moves. Aerial Ace is usable, X-Scissor, potentially usable, Sludge Bomb, Fell Stinger, all interesting moves. Now, if we add Drill Run to Beedrill's move pool with, let's say, Sludge Bomb, Drill Run, Poison Jab, 15 wins, 23 losses, but it has some important wins. A very handy win against Azumarill, a battle rating of 765. That's a very good win. And it wins against Registeel. But let me just read you a message that Zionic sent me soon after the Community Day choices were announced. Can I count on your vote for Beedrill? Here's a few good reasons why. New shiny, that's always fun. I agree. Beats Azumarill and Registeel. That's nice for Great League. Bees are a part of a community, like us. Save the bees. Did I mention it beats Azu/Reggie? Yes, Zionic. I agree. With Poison Jab, Sludge Bomb, Drill Run, Beedrill beats 2 of the most common Pokemon in Great League. A huge win against Azumarill, and a win against Registeel. So, Beedrill, not only is it the only new shiny in this batch of Pokemon to vote for, it also has very important wins in Great League. I'm voting for the Murder Hornet. That's what it comes down to. Anyway, that's it. I think that's it for my look at the Community Day, future Community Day Pokemon here today. I hope this computer can hold up through the edit because, my goodness, it was, whew, that was tough, just screen recording. You got this, computer. You got this. In the meantime, let me know down in the comments which Pokemon you are voting for and why. Make your case. Try to convince me otherwise, but I'm going with the new shiny. So that about wraps it up for this video. Hope you enjoyed this little look at future Community Days. Let me know down below how you feel. See you soon.